And yeah, that's what I meant to I'll wait till after this segment to tell you.
Hey, good evening, Kansas City. You're tuned in to KCPZ Praise 95.5 Radio, where we're bringing the best of you in rap, rhythm, and praise. It's Lathan Warlock. Yes, and we have Miss Kalia in the studio. What's up, Kalia?
Hey, how you doing? Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Yes, happy Saturday, and a gloomy one it is.
Yes.
Gloomy Saturday it is. So we're going to jump right into the topic because I think we only got three segments. We're going to try and hit y'all with 3 segments, Kansas City. First, I want to say hey to my social media people that are out there. I'm going to try and tag some of y'all. Yeah, y'all was on me by not tagging y'all and letting y'all know when I was live or when I was going live. So we're going to try and tag some folks. So
yes.
Y'all kind of bear with me. I don't want nobody to be all disappointed and giving me the blues. Okay, now my social media is doing something crazy here, trying to reconnect. Okay, so we on the Mevo, so it don't matter. We are on the Mevo, so I'm gonna make sure I play to y'all on the Mevo, until my page comes up. But yes, we are live, and I'm gonna fumble with my piece here. Start live video. Oh man, this technology, I don't know what to say about this stuff.
It's something else.
It
tricks us.
Devil, man. The devil. We were talking about the subject that I wanted to hit up today in my first segment is I had a question. And that question was, are you the type of person that show up in a person's life with a to-go plate? And I was letting you guys know that this topic came to me, or was brought to my attention by E.T. Eric Thomas, one of my favorite motivational speakers, and it was very interesting, and it just burned its way into my brain, because I think about this all the time. Because in our lives, we have people that show up with a to-go plate, especially when you're celebrating, your greatest life. When you're celebrating your greatest life, you have these people that show up in your life with a to-go plate. Or even when you're out there, even in the dating world, you have people that show up in your life with a to-go plate. Here I am fumbling with this microphone. Oh my God. Anyway,
yes.
What do I mean by that? Well, if you could think about it, we've all had those picnics or those get-togethers where, you get together with family and friends and you decide who is going to prepare the food. And you even talk about those people that's going to show up. You like, you know what, such probably going to show up, ain't going to bring nothing, but they going to make sure they walk away with something.
Right.
And these people show up at the get-togethers, the family reunions, and whatnot, and they have Tupperware bowls, they got Ziploc bags, and they don't bring nothing. They don't bring nothing to the picnic. They don't bring nothing to the party, but they make sure they walk away with something. Now, what I'm saying is this: in our lives, or sometimes it may even be you that is showing up with the to-go plate. But what I'm saying is, sometimes we have people that show up in our lives and they don't bring anything to contribute to your success or to your empowerment. But what they do is they show up with the intent to take away what you have. They show up with the intent to take away something. It could be to take away your joy. It could be to take away your inspiration. It could be to take away your motivation. All of these different things. And sometimes we don't realize it. Sometimes we get so caught up in the joy and the excitement of people showing up to your party that we don't realize that these folks are there really just to get what they can receive from you or what you prepared. So they're showing up with a to-go plate. But they didn't bring anything. They didn't bring soda. They didn't bring no chips to the party. So I'm gonna give you a moment. Think about those people, and I'm gonna go a little further with this. You got any comments?
Oh yeah, I was just listening because you was hitting right on point.
Yeah,
like I've experienced it, and I know exactly what it's like when somebody's coming just or you can sense. You know, a lot of times it's not going to be blatantly said to you, but you definitely can over time when you're building rapport, relationships with people, sense the people that are there just to scope you out.
Right.
And that's just the lamest way to put it, you know, because it's not necessarily a materialistic thing. Like you said, it's the energy sometimes. It's just somebody just there to steal your joy. Just want to just take away from what you bring to the table, if it's in a positive, it's in a peaceful manner, just to be negative or discouraging when you're trying to be optimistic about a growing situation or a positive thing. And I know this to be true just because, you know, not only in listening to motivational speakers, because I've heard them from several, you know, in my own experience, looking at naysayers when you're working on different things and the people that don't believe. You know, I was listening to Tyrese Gibson one time, and I was listening to pretty much when he's saying, like, you know, your family and friends be the first ones. It's like, you know, or people, when you're looking at something, a bigger goal, a focus, something that seems like it's so off wall and out the charts, they'd be the first ones to try to discourage you and stop you and stuff because they don't see the full picture of what you see, you know. And he said, you know, at that point, you got to look past that. You got to zoom in and focus because it's not for everybody to see. It's not for everybody to know. You just got to be strong in your own belief and faith because everybody ain't going to be there to be a part of the greater good of what you're trying to push out to the universe. And it's the reality of what it is.
I agree with that. You're absolutely right. And when we talk about, you know, those naysayers, those people out there, those doomsayers, you know, they're the most interesting group of people.
I like them the best.
Yeah. And it's like, you know what? It's like we spoke about last week. You know, a lot of times we get all tied up, and man, we talk about the haters that are out there, the naysayers, the doomsayers that are out there. But what you have to understand is this, y'all. Though that's your best advertisement.
Yes.
They are your best advertisers. Are those people that gossip and are constantly bringing your name up? Their name is constantly. Your name is constantly in their mouth. You want that because what they're doing is giving you free advertisement. We have to look at the positive, even though it's a negative thing that they're doing. We have to look at the positive side of it.
It's coming out of it because you can't control what people do.
Yeah,
you can only control what you do.
Your name is constantly in their mouth, and they're giving you free advertisement.
And regardless, good or bad, that's gonna make people curious to what
Very
you got
curious.
going on.
Very curious. You know, once they bring your name up, trying to take away your joy, trying to take away your light. They trying to take away your spotlight.
And it's like you know, people don't. It's crazy because you look at people, even their success stories. People don't even know the work that people put in prior to seeing them on a certain level of success. It's like they look at them, I want to be in their shoes, or, you know, or I'm envious of this situation, or why couldn't that be me? But are you really willing to go through what they went through to get to where they are? And like, are you willing to take sleepless nights? Are you willing to take constant no's? Are you willing to get to what seemed like go through ongoing failures in your mind because it hasn't reached the pinnacle that you expect for it to reach? So it's like people look at the big picture, but they don't look at the process. Right.
And you know, it's like you hear people say, taking the road less traveled. Most people don't want to take that road. Most people do not want to take that road. It's like even when you pray for a blessing sometimes. Sometimes if you know what you got to go through to get to that blessing, some people going to change their mind. They're like, okay, I got to go through what?
Yeah.
to get there.
And to tie that into just the to-go plate of what you were saying, is just more or less like, you know, you got some people that come in because they feel like you're at a certain level, they feel like you're doing certain things, and they just trying to take whatever they can get from you on a quick level and try to use it for themselves.
Right.
You know, and then they just maybe, you know, they come in, they like, oh, you know, have no real good intent, because you got people that are genuine. You can't put that on everybody. You know, some people are genuine. They genuinely want to come in and help you. They genuinely want to network with you. They genuinely want to be able to let's each one teach one and we all grow together. But you have some people that come in with a straight goal in mind to suck what they can and go.
That's true. But, you know, and it's interesting because a lot of folks don't realize the benefit in bringing something to the table.
It's a very big benefit.
It's bringing something to the table. So before we end this segment, this is the question I want to ask, and this will segue into, you know, where we're going after this. You know, as we talk about this, you know, are you one of those people in your life showing up in someone else's life with a to-go plate? I want to ask this question: what are you bringing to the table when you enter someone else's life? If you're not showing up with a to-go plate, what is it that you are bringing to the table in someone else's life? Because this is how we build rapport, because success is based on the type of rapport that you build. What type of rapport are you building with people? What type of rapport are you building with other people so that they're comfortable with letting you into their family circle? Because it's very important when we're talking about success, is what type of rapport we're building together amongst each other. And that, you know, and that's going to tie into a couple other things, is what type of rapport, even as a culture, what type of rapport are we building with each other as men and women?
Yes. And it's imperative. That's where, you know, integrity comes in. That's where, you know, not just the positive, but the logic of situations come in. People just have to be realistic in some situations, in a lot of situations where we try to be, you know, in fairy tale land. You know, you got to take stuff for what it is and take people for who they are and really help people to grow if you're sincere about it. First, starting with yourself. You know, because we it's easy for us to talk about or see the stuff that other people can do.
Right.
It's harder to actually work on those things for ourselves because we get defensive.
I agree with that. I agree. And with that said, you guys, you tuned in to KCPZ Praise 95.3 FM Radio, where we are bringing the best to you in rap, rhythm, and praise.
I like that my tablet died.
Girl, my phone.
I'm so irritated.
I just turned it off. It said connected.
It died in the middle of the live. I had more people coming on, and it just died. I said, you know what, I'm gonna charge.
I said, you know, we just gonna have to. I'll make sure I'm just doing the Mevo right. So when we get the Mevo piece, you know, I'll just tag it to you, and you can share that.
Okay, cool.
So they can.
I want to tell you. I forgot the bow stats. Yeah. That's what I meant to tell you. I'm gonna bring them down here for sure tomorrow. But I'm gonna try to see if that lady is open so I can go get that vegan burger. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. I don't know if she open on Sundays. She told me, she said her off day. All her off days is Fridays and Sundays. So we're gonna have to probably do that one day.
So what now?
So we probably have to do that on Monday. As far as I was trying to think about that lady's food. She's off on. She don't work Fridays.
We're still on Mevo too, so I'm gonna be talking about all that other stuff too.
I completely was. I looked at the live. I said it was on Mevo, but
see,
I was like,
light right there.
I was like, let me go ahead.
Yeah, we got some
quiet.
exciting stuff going on, y'all. That
really
we're gonna share with y'all later on. So
it's gonna come.
We got some exciting stuff, and we don't want to talk about that stuff
right now.
You know, right now. So yeah.
So I stopped right there.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure I shared that with her so that bone don't slip out.
Man, because the excitement gets real. It gets real.
But I want to thank y'all for tuning in. For those of y'all who are catching the replay from the station's Mevo, you know, I apologize. You know, sometimes when you're trying to deliver content, the devil tries to slide in and intervene. So So that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna still get the message out to y'all. So yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm so
man.
excited to be here.
You know what? I gotta get in the gym too.
To
I try to go to the bank and everything. That U.S. Bank there on what's that? 63rd and Truce. Oh, man, it just make me so mad. The ATM is always temporarily down. That ain't working. People can't come in. Can't get money.
There's so many banks that
Right.
I'm so opposed to, and U.S. Bank is definitely one. I
Oh,
know
I'm
a lot
about
of people
to-
use it, and for business purposes, they hit
You know-
you over the head for a lot. So I've
But
heard
you know
people.
what? You know why I go still at U.S. Bank?
Why?
But I'm about to get rid of them. I got a letter that they sent to me. I'm gonna do something. This is my reason from a year ago. Why I'm as of right now.
You be cracking
I'm
me
taking
up with that
advantage.
because I remember when you had your Facebook vendetta. I was rolling.
And I was so
you
mad.
get
You know, I was so mad because, dude, we need some competitive. We need some competition so I can jump ship.
For
Yeah, no
real. Like, hold
competition,
on.
man.
We got to be restricted in expressing things that aren't even, it's not even
Man.
bad. It's just y'all don't want to
Deal with the abuse
make
because
nobody
it's the only
feel
one.
like that you're taking stuff from other people. Oh, you're going to steal the rights to somebody's music.
Man.
No,
But yeah,
you can't even have a
so-
good time and groove
Man.
to it. Like, I was
Man.
doing whole workouts and they pausing me I'm not even big yet. I'm
Oh,
just
my
showing
goodness.
people how to get something in. All I want them to do something to soothe their mind.
So how's the car doing?
It's doing good. I'm actually happy that I went ahead and got everything fixed. Yeah, it's going good. It's good now.
You look like you're wrong.
Yeah, the middle mic too. Yeah, I'm happy about that. I've been rolling ever since. That's why I might use that when I go out of town. I'm not sure because I plan on it.
Girl, yeah, I'm looking at going out of town. Shit, birthday
No,
coming up.
everything.
40 coming up. How much? 48.
How you feel?
Feel good.
Yeah, you look like you done got a little more lean. Seriously.
Remember, I gotta shoot my scenes and everything, my early scenes, and I don't want because
Is
once
that
I
part
shoot,
of the excitement? We speaking about that? On you,
man, you know, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, I ain't worried about that. Yeah, I gotta shoot my stuff, and I gotta. Once I shoot that stuff, I can't go back because I want to start putting the weight on, so the growth will show. and
I see
everything
the
from that.
beard.
But then I'm gonna have to, I'm trying to grow that so I can look all scruffy and like, people looking at me we're like, "Work,
What's wrong with you?
you can't get no barber."
Right. The pandemic, the real part is
Pandemic.
over. It's open now.
Yeah, they get all scruffy looking and everything, and look a little pitiful, look kind of pitiful.
No, it's not necessarily pitiful. It's in each his own eyes because when you got something that you're doing, it's not pitiful at all. It's beautiful at the end, and people like, that's what was going on.
Look pitiful, my role, my
But
guy,
I understand what you're saying because we still people. So every day we looking at people, how they looking at us like, what? You know he shouldn't have came out the house like that.
Right. Yeah.
And then inside, because I didn't been through stuff like that, where I'm literally like, at school they had us to do this analysis where it was like, you go and you do something like just way off circle, like like wear a sweater in the summertime, something like that. Let's just get the example,
Right.
and write down people's expressions and reactions for the whole day.
Yeah.
While you do it, and so it's just like
it's interesting. You know what? I'm gonna say this, and a couple people I'll never really gave them the answer to this, but if y'all listening, if y'all catching this replay, you're gonna kind of get the answer to this. And it's gonna be a couple of women. This is through my dating life. There's a question that I usually ask women. Is I always ask them because this is where relationships get challenging when you're dating. It's like, I ask this question because I think knowing this answer is very important. Is trying to understand what it looks like when God is working on somebody.
Whew. Cause
You
the thing
have
about
to
it,
know.
whew,
We have to start figuring out and learning
whew.
what it looks like when God is working on someone. Because sometimes when God is working on someone, there's a couple of things that's going to have to happen. Either of course, you're going to have to let God do his work because you don't want to intervene. You want him to go ahead and work on that person. But that doesn't necessarily mean abandon them. Mm. You don't want to abandon them. You see, because sometimes God can kill two birds with one stone. Mm. When he has two people and he's working on just that one. You don't want to abandon them, but you want to be able to understand and recognize when God is working on somebody. Because a lot of times it don't look good.
No.
It doesn't look good.
And it can push you away.
Oh, yeah.
The thing about it is, and that's where people got to really, that's where you see and understand when they've been worked on, because you got to know that it's seasons of stuff. Uh-huh. And people going to go through those seasons. So if you can stick it out through those tough seasons, then you can endure through the better seasons. Yes. And people fail to realize that they will give up on you when at the most critical point, and that's when things are shown.
Right. And see, and I've said in the past is we have to understand this here too. The same thing is when God is taking you through the fiery furnace, it's not always for the sake of punishing you. Something bigger is coming because see, when you're wielding a sword, you got to put the sword through different elements. You got to put the sword through fire. You got to put it through the fire. You got to pound it. You got to beat it, shape it, and then you got to put it in the cold. Then you got to dip it back into the fire, and you got to beat it some more.
See if you remember the lesson.
Mm-hmm. So you got to beat it some more. So you have to go through that process so that the finished product. So when you come out as that finished product, you come out sharp as a tack.
I'm telling you. That's where strength is tested, through the process.
Yes. And like I say, if you're with someone, they have to understand that process.
And everybody can.
Because it's going to be challenging for them too.
It was. I was telling one of my clients earlier about Les Brown when I was listening to him, and pretty much how he said that, in the process of him trying to really get into his speaking and stuff, and then how his girlfriend, how he called, trying to tell her about, one of the events that he was doing, and he hear in the background, it's like, hang up the phone. And she's like, I'm sorry, I gotta go. He's like, what? Like, huh? And he's like, he had to go and do a public speaking event, and he was so excited to tell her about it because he had to go out to go talk on air within the next 2 minutes. And so when he heard hang the phone, I'm sorry, you ain't got enough time for me, and he here and all this stuff. Yes. All right, hang up, let's go. He said his heart, like it dropped, but at the same time it was an exciting moment for him, so he couldn't even show his true feelings, his pain at that time, because he had to get on stage in front of he had to put on his performance. It's that like sucks. People don't realize that.
You know what, I know some people say that they don't like the movie and everything, but it was so many messages in the movie Acrimony.
I have to watch it.
I don't even
watch, and I may have.
It shows that.
Remind me, who's in that?
It's written by Tyler Perry, but
is that the one that got Taraji Henson?
Taraji, yeah.
Okay.
That woman is
the bomb.
Impeccable.
Okay.
She is just,
one of my role models. I can't wait to meet her.
Who is your coach?
Okay, because she cold-blooded. I can't wait to meet her. I'm gonna see her.
She's just cold-blooded.
She's cold-blooded. A cold piece. And how she did it was gaining her piece. If people know her story, you would know that people had to. And she wrote what she was gonna do before she did it. I know how it go, baby, because I'm doing the same thing. Man, I love that woman. I love that woman. But yeah, I think I remember because I didn't watch. Okay, with that one, who was the storyline of that one?
My favorite. I'm gonna say the whole movie was great. But I ain't gonna spoil it because since you ain't seen it. But it was a line in there where he says to her, when he shows up at her office with the flowers and everything, and he says to her after she done shot him down for the last time, and he just apologizes to her that his blessing didn't show up earlier. When he says that to her, my heart was just like, oh my God, that was powerful.
Yeah,
because
he wanted her to be a part of it.
It's like when you love someone and you're trying to accomplish a goal or a dream, and you praying, and you can see that it's killing your relationship, and all you saying is like, man, if this could just happen like right now, I can show this person
exactly.
And God ain't showing up. Understand
it, it's
like, it's like you see, man, this is like, man, I'm about to lose my man or my woman or whatever,
because I'm
And
focused
it's like-
on this, but I'm really doing it for us.
Yeah,
So it's like
it's
I wish
like-
they could see it. I want them to.
and it don't show up.
Until they are not around.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily
And then
that it
it's
don't
like,
show
boom.
up, but at that point your mind state has changed.
Yeah.
Because you like
That
whew,
that right there was like, I was just like, my chin dropped. I was like, oh man. 'Cause
I
it's-
think I remember a little bit. That's okay. So I haven't
Yeah,
saw the whole
man.
thing. I think I saw bits and pieces of where she was doing the food when he was with his new woman. When she came in slashing stuff up and
Oh,
all the,
yeah.
okay, so that's that movie.
I would have took my woman back though.
Uh,
Hey, people kind of disputed, fought me on that one, but I said, look,
didn't he take her back?
no.
I thought
I said,
he did,
look,
and
I
then
said
he
the
went
thing
back
is
to the other
this. The
woman.
thing is this. It's like
But maybe because I didn't.
when
look
you
at it.
have a person, a woman, that goes through the fire, because she did go through the fire with him, and she sacrificed a lot because there's no one. There is no one. I can tell myself. I said there's no woman that was I would look at that. I would say, you know what? Even the one woman who I'm with, I would have to look at her and ask the question: would she have sacrificed
what this woman did?
what
Because
she
the thing
did?
about it is, this woman is coming into the glory.
Yes.
She's coming into the perks of the situation. She's
Yes.
not. She didn't go through the process, and that's what
She didn't
people
go through
fail
the
to realize. And it's
process
like
of
people don't
investing and all
understand the pain that takes, and the pain that comes from a person,
I
and what
would've-
that takes from you. She had. I can understand why
But
she
she went
lashed
through the
out.
fire too.
Yeah.
She went through some fire.
So she
the
wanted
fire
to reap
too.
the full benefits of it. So I
Yeah.
gotta look at that now because you said
I
that
would've-
apology
I would have
now.
took her back, man. I would have
gotta
dropped. I
look
would
at
have.
it.
I would have felt bad.
Yeah, because you don't
I
want to hurt
would have, but I would have had to
feelings.
explain to her. I would say, look, this right here, this is what she did. I'm like, this right here, that man, she played a big part in his success. I'm sorry. She played a big part.
And that's a lot. That's a lot for a person.
Yeah, and I would understand. And I would have understood why she felt the way she felt. I would have understood that. I'm sorry. I would have understood that. Yeah. I was kind of sad that he didn't take her back though.
That is sad. I didn't even
Yeah.
see that part. Okay, I guess I'm gonna be able to do one more segment
Okay.
and I gotta go.
Okay, that's cool. We'll knock this one right on now. We got 2 minutes.
Okay, cool. 'Cause I'm gonna be pushing.
Yeah. We don't need no stress.
Oh no, they'll be alright.
We don't need no stress. Now we need to stay out of the stereotype too. We want you on time.
Oh yeah, I know.
Session.
I'm trying to actually prove something in
Yes.
my time. That's my worst.
Yeah.
And professionalism wise, that's
Like I said,
everything.
you got to get out. That's why I tell you out there. Let me know.
Mhm.
I improvise. I get it.
Yeah, I know, but you just can't do that with everybody. When you're dealing with business, you gotta know how to manage your time
Yeah.
right. So that way you
Yeah,
just don't put too much on your plate at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I don't want to have to reschedule with people. Of course, the people that's understanding and with certain things, but it's like when it comes to professionalism, you got to know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
In order to keep
And like I
that.
said, I always say, with us, we got to get out of that stereotype.
Yeah, yeah.
That you running in while the client is waiting, you running in
Yeah.
trying to get ready and set up.
And you like, hey, hold on, 5 minutes.
Hey,
I'll
funny,
pull
but
it up
it's
when
funny.
you pull it up. Like,
Woo,
no,
I used to hate it, like, in
it
my
ain't
office,
funny at all
man.
because it ain't cute. Because the
I
thing
used
about
to
it,
be-
you would hate to be waiting for
man,
somebody,
I
especially
would have therapists
consistently.
that I would
It's annoying.
contract. I'm like, you can't be showing up getting ready while the client is in the room.
Period. You supposed to be there.
waiting for
Yeah,
you.
I was talking to my mentor. She told me, she
Right.
said, you got to be there. She like, sure, I'm there like 30,
You supposed to be
45
there to
minutes
greet-
early. You supposed to be
Yes.
there and have everything set up, already warmed up by the
Good.
time the people get there.
And ready.
And I totally agree. I'm like, I'm gonna be like you
You're
one
like,
day.
man. Okay, 30 seconds.
Yay. But those are things that come with being able to grow in your constructive criticism. Everybody can't take that and grow with it. Some people take it and they get defensive. All however long it'll let us stay on live before it kill my phone, my tablet again.
Oh, all right, and we're back, Kansas City. You're tuned in to KCPZ Praise 95.3 FM radio, where we're bringing the best in rap, rhythm, and praise. And we have Khalil over here on the mic.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, okay, I got you. Got you on the right mic.
Yes,
all right, cool, cool.
I'm here. I'm heard.
Yeah, now we're back. Okay. Jumping right back on topic. So we were asking the question, in your life, in the life that you live, are you the type of person that shows up in another's life with a to-go plate? Or are you that person who constantly have people showing up to your party with a to-go plate, meaning that they show up in your life with the intent to take away your joy, your ideas, the things that you come up with? They just show up
to drain you.
To drain you. And we've all, I think we all can agree that we had someone or just some folks show up in our lives with the total intent to take away. Or we've had people that have shown up and taken away things. You know what? I was talking to one of the pastors at church, and we were talking about dating and the things that we should and should not do in dating. And it was crazy because we were talking, and I said, man, you know what's crazy? It's like you meet somebody in your life, and you think, okay, this is the one.
Every time.
I found them. Woo! And you share all your personal information with them, things that you probably would normally have shared with them. Then months later, you find out, okay, this ain't the one. Y'all ain't even talking to each other no more. And they have walked away with some of your most personal information.
And that's why it's a process. People,
it's the worst.
It's a bad situation. However, it's like, people actually don't realize that preserving things is important. Like, you want to ask certain questions when you first starting into a dating situation. There's certain things you want to know about a person's character. You definitely have to allow time to present who you are dealing with before you let them know so much of your, personal and the things that are close and the nearest and dearest to you, especially if you're not dealing with a stand-up person. Because you never know what may come about in the midst of anger. If they may, you got people that's been exposed just for money in shows. We see it celebrity-wise. People come out with whole books and stories when somebody's already made it to a certain level just to make a few bucks themselves because they were in a painful situation with this person and it didn't turn out how they wanted it to turn out.
Right. So let me ask this question here. Like I said, we've all had that experience where we've shared information and people have walked away with our most personal stuff. So what would you say when you give a time period? What would you say would be a time span, a fair time span to allow somebody to fill up their Tupperware bowl with some of that information, that you have? What's a good time span to share that personal information? 1 month, 2 months, 3, 6 months before you start sharing the dishes that you have.
That's interesting.
Because it is interesting because
I don't feel like it's a real time to it. And the only reason why I say that is because you definitely don't want to do it on day one, for sure.
Right.
It's just like, how much time are you spending with this person? How much rapport are y'all actually building with each other? How much are you getting to see in their life in regards to what they're actually doing on a daily basis as opposed to what they showing when they walk out the house? So those things make a difference in how soon you want to share those kind of vital things, because some people can be putting up a shield. They can be putting up a whole mask when they hit the streets.
There you have it. I agree with that. And that is one of the things that we do. We always put our best foot forward, and that's, there's a point I wanted to make, and it just totally left my mind. It's probably going to come to me. The devil is in this room.
Ooh.
The devil is in this room. There was definitely a point that I wanted to make, and I can't even make it.
It's going to come back.
But look, let me say this though. When you're dealing with someone, like when you have somebody like that just shows up in your life, and we're trying to be, sometimes we're overcritical, and we're being critical of who those people are. We're trying to assess who these people are or what their intent is. I think it's very important, or it's of definite importance that we look at what this person's intent is. Are they showing up, or are they feeding your flame? Are they feeding your flame, or are they, for lack of better words, pissing on it?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because some people are going to show up in your life. It's like a comment I made. I don't know if I made it on air, but it was a conversation we were having, and I was explaining to women that sometimes when you have like a man in your life, you want to be sure that they are feeding the dreams and the goals that you have.
Yes.
Because see, sometimes people will show up and they have no interest in what you're doing. But you want to make sure when they show up, they are contributing to what it is that you are trying to do.
Yes. Because
it's so often that, we get people in our lives that they're not even contributing to what it is that you're trying to succeed in. And it's not, and it's crazy because sometimes it can even be selfishness. Could be the reason why they don't do it. They don't want to see you. Maybe they don't want to see you succeed before they succeed. Or maybe they want you to feel as if that you can't make it or survive without them, or they don't want you making more money than them. Mm-hmm. It's this crazy race that we have, that, especially as a culture, that we have to totally get over that.
Crab in the bucket.
Yeah.
We're talking about it.
Well, I think you talking about that last week, wasn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about that last, because that's like, that's something I refer to a lot. I believe DeWanda brought it up last week. But yeah, it's definitely something that we have that mentality of, just because somebody don't want to see somebody reaching a certain height before them. The thing about it is, embrace your time. Embrace what it is that you do and what you bring to the table, and allow for your strengths to be able to be tested and be able to follow through. Don't worry about the next person, because like I said, that's the part of what we look at at people, and we look at the success story but not the process.
Right.
So it's like, don't be envious of where somebody else is. Like, it's crazy how we in our culture have that. It's the topic he was talking about last time in regards to like the white supremacy. Like how we could be the ones to go and support because of our lack of belief or in what we are able to do. Sometimes because of the hiking up of prices. Sometimes because of the customer service, the attitudes, all those things, or just not believing that somebody's gonna be able to push it as far as they can. You're just looking at somebody that's already there,
right,
and what's already been established.
Right.
Well, I wanted to say something interesting about what you said in regards to like the people coming in and draining you and stuff. I really don't think that everybody even know that they doing it. That's why you got to be able to recognize. Some people, I feel like they are just miserable themselves, and they really literally don't know how to do anything but bring that kind of energy.
Girl, you absolutely right, because I thought about that before too. Some people just don't know.
Yeah, I believe that they really don't know that that's them until they are into a secluded situation where they back is against the wall and everybody's then turned they back on.
That's true. That's true. You know what? And what do you do about that though?
It's weird because it's like in my situations, I've prayed for people because you don't want to allow it to take from you, because it definitely could, yes. And so I've prayed for people, and then distanced myself to where it didn't take from me. And once I realized how much it was taking from me, if it was something like a personal situation, like a relationship,
right?
And then, you know, you just got to kind of know how to preserve your energy, because in that case, you can't really, we all human. We go through our time periods. You don't want a person that you care about to be in that kind of pain. It's like if you see somebody that's like in a suicidal state, you know, like whether it be, you know, your child, you know, somebody close to you. If you look at it like that, then you can understand it. Just, I'm saying your child because anybody can understand the pain from their child. So, you know, if you look at it in that case, what do you do about that? You realize that these people are still people, and with them being people, you know, you can't allow them to pretty much, like I said, take your energy, but you definitely have to be sincere in regards to whatever your role and position is in a life, whether it is that you're showing them positive things in your actions, you know, not using retaliation for like tit for tat, because people got that bad. You know, and tit for tat don't do nothing but cause a storm, or it causes a bomb. You know, it doesn't make the situation better.
Yep, I agree with that. But you know, as we get ready to close out, you know what, people, I think, you know, as we move forward, you know, we have to start looking at, you know, what we are bringing to the picnic. What are we bringing to the party? Because I'm gonna tell you, when you give, you're definitely gonna receive.
Yes.
We have to start giving.
Yes.
If you want to receive.
And the thing is, you don't give to receive. You give because it's sincere. You give because it's in your heart to give. Like, and some people may think you're doing it for other reasons. If you're true to who you are and you giving because you have a real positive, you know, you have a goal in mind that's to really help people, you don't feel bad about that. You do you. Keep giving, because the universe is going to see and it's going to come back around, and you're going to be able to be fed off of that.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with Kalia on that one. And with that said, y'all, look at how you're going to be giving this week.
Yes.
Who can you give to? Who can you inspire? Who can you promote on your social media page?
And it doesn't have to be physical. Like you said, promoting, you know, supporting, not necessarily, you know, giving somebody positive feedback. You know, even if it's a constructive criticism, giving it to them in the right way, where it don't seem like you're trying to diminish their character, as opposed to you trying to help uplift them and try to see a better way to do it.
Right. And with that said, y'all, we love you. We thank you for tuning in to KCPZ Praise 95.3 FM Radio. And we will catch y'all next weekend. We love you, Kansas City.
Yes, we love you. Have a great day.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Let's see if this don't work.
That was all on me, bro.
Why is it not working? All right.
What happened? My stuff started messing all up again, so
I see it.
I was like, we just have to go with the Mevo today. Okay, what's up?
All right, Mevo people, we love y'all. We gonna tune out. We gonna post this. If y'all catching the replay, share it out. Give your thoughts, your comments, and we gonna catch y'all on the flip side next weekend. Look at somebody messaging me right now. So hey, we holler at y'all later. Love ya.